Tom is a quiet leader, exudes a lot of wisdom, and doesn't try to take credit, just tries to get things done in the right way.
I learn a lot about leadership by watching other leaders. Probably the most things that I have learned about being dean, I learned by watching Tom Lyon.
Tom's a humble human being. That's probably in contrast to me, but maybe that was part of what made the two of us work so well together.
But he doesn't want to be the leader, he wants to be the team person, and it is always about Rockhurst, always about Rockhurst first, and never about himself, always about the students, what's best for the school, what's best for the big picture. And he really believes in Rockhurst. He believes in everything that it stands for. He is one of its greatest cheerleaders.
What I would say about Tom, yeah, he's intellectually gifted, but he's also just one heck of a nice individual. It's that combination that I think endured him to so many of us, because he is the real deal all the time.
He is very personal on things too. I mentioned that after the class was over that day, he'd take us over to the gym and we'd play basketball with him. So he is very good like that. He really cared about the people that were in the program.
That's who Tom is. He builds up others. And that, to me, is the quality of someone that just is inspiring. Ethical leadership in business is so important, and it's a cornerstone of everything that we do. But what we haven't done before is we haven't named it, honored it, and celebrated it within our own school. That's the idea of this award, and I couldn't be more proud to have Father Rashford's name on the award and for Tom Lyon to be our first recipient.
When I was looking at the award, there's part of me that says the award really ought to be the Tom Lyon Award, because he was the real founder of the school. I still say that probably even from this point forward, it would make more sense to have the award the Lyon and Rashford Joint Award.
I'm real excited that Rockhurst wanted to take the opportunity to recognize my father with the Father Rashford Award for Ethical Leadership. I know that he and Father Nick have known each other a long time. They've stayed in touch, and I think that you're honoring Rockhurst, you're honoring the relationships that have been built there, and you're also taking a moment to recognize someone that gave a lot to Rockhurst.
I'm just very proud of him and of what he's been able to do. He might be underestimated by some people because he's just quietly there, and he's very humble. He doesn't need a lot of credit or pats on the back. He does what he does because he really, truly enjoys it.
Yeah, when we first started the program, I spent 10 years at Rockhurst and started teaching and started taking over some administration. Became the first dean of the school. When I left at the end of 10 years, the one thing that you want and hope is that the plans that you have laid and the people that are in place are going to continue to grow and develop. And Rockhurst has done that, and that makes me entirely proud and puffed up, and most of this is due to Tom.
I know Father Rashford really believed in good business education, and Tom's the epitome of that.
I don't think there's anyone who really has worked harder in creating a program for Rockhurst, and he's developed a product that the school can be very proud of, and he's given his whole life to it.
For him to start the master's program, I think he was young, he was enthusiastic, he was back home at Rockhurst, which pleased him. He individually interviewed each one, and he thoroughly enjoyed that. He liked talking to everyone, he liked knowing what they were about and why they were interested, and he wanted to know what they thought they would get out of the program. And he cared so much about every single person. He really was, he was fatherly in the way he thought about these students, and that was true the entire time that he was in charge of the MBA program.
It was a great experience, and as I said earlier, Dr. Tom Lyon's throughout that whole process had a presence that was both academic and personal that made learning from him and with him such a joy.
I feel proud. I think it's really fantastic that my dad and others that had the same vision that he did could build something that has that much respect, and that people will make a sacrifice to go to Rockhurst versus some other program because they know that the experience that they'll get and the opportunities that being a Rockhurst alum will give them means something in the Midwest and means something in the community. And I think that's really neat that he's part of that.
Wherever I go and I mention Tom, almost anywhere, they know Tom, they know his reputation, they know what he's done for Rockhurst. So he's a very significant force for the school and really for the city.
That my dad absolutely has left a legacy in Kansas City and continues to this day. There are students that contact him. I have people that when they hear who my father is, they say, oh, do you think my son could talk to him? I've heard that he gives good advice and maybe he could help him think through what he wants to do in the future, where he wants to go to college, that sort of thing. And I think it's a continuing legacy.
He's very lucky to have done what he was meant to do in life, and he did. He was able to do what he was meant to do, what he was called to do. Very, very lucky.